What's up, Crash It Nation? This is Jonathan Wood, episode number 5 on season number 4 of the Crashed It podcast. Today we have joining us the Josh and Jordan Atterbury from the Derbies of the Show Me State. Thank you guys for taking time out of your busy evening to join us on the Crashed It podcast.
You're welcome. Thanks for having us.
Well, before we get into this too much, there's a lot of people that watch this podcast that probably don't even know what you guys do or anything. So, throughout this podcast, they're going to learn a lot about you guys, a lot about what you do for the Demolition Derby community. There's people that tune into this thing nationwide, actually globally, and it's just crazy the amount of support we have. And everybody, we just want to thank you for all the support and everything that you do. I know I forgot to do the drawing. I'm going to do the drawing from the first giveaway tomorrow night on here. So thanks for all the messages reminding me. I'm a busy guy. I just forgot. Before you guys get into it, how did you guys start? Like, what even brought out the Derbies of the Show Me State? Like, what led you guys to even thinking about it? And tell everybody what it is, too.
Well, I was down at the Montgomery County Fair. It was back in 2020 when they had R&R Promotions still doing it. And they was supposed to have 4 classes of cars. And there was only like 2 classes of the cars that even showed up, and there was only like, I think 19 cars showed up, it just kind of put the idea in my head, like, what could I do to get it out there to, like, for Derby drivers to know that these shows are going on, to get more cars to the shows.
And then he asked me to hop on board and help him out, find all the information and stuff for him. And I told him, yeah.
So, and then that February of 2021, we started it up, and we've been going ever since.
All right. So if I'm someone that's not from Missouri, that has no idea what Demolition Derby is, like Derbies of the Show Me State is, what is it anyway?
So, like, we go around to, like, different shows throughout the state of Missouri. We video them. We also got, like, a list of, like, we put out a list of, like, all the shows throughout all the state of Missouri, like, where the promoter promotes 1 show or promotes 20 shows in Missouri. They're all on there. We dig through all of them. There's, like, weekly car counts that we try to do. Sometimes we get a little bit behind on them.
We try to take pictures, some pit pictures, but also try to get action pictures.
That's if we're both there.
Yeah, we're both there, and the track's kind of close enough to where we can get good action pictures.
Like, basically, we're essentially like the information center of the state of Missouri for derbies.
Essentially, yeah. We get a lot of people contact us about rules, and that's when we kind of send them to, like, the promoter and let them know who to contact.
Okay. So essentially Derbies of the Show Me State, they run a Facebook page that if you're a promoter in the state of Missouri or a fair board, anything like that, putting on a demolition derby in the state of Missouri, they know about it, and they've got it listed on their Facebook page that they run for everybody to know about. And that takes a lot of time, a lot of energy, just that part of it. And then these guys go around to shows and they take videos and they go live and they sell shirts, all kinds of stuff like that. So where did the passion for Demolition Derby come? What led you guys to like what do you go to derbies for? Like, what's your favorite part of a Demolition Derby?
I like just seeing cars get destroyed, and even though I've never been in one, it feels like when I'm frustrated and mad at somebody, my frustrations are getting took out on somebody without me actually going to jail over it.
Yeah. Hey,
growing up, going
Johnny
to-
Edgar, is that? Hold on just a second, guys. Johnny Edgar, is that better? He said our camera screen was a little fuzzy today, so let us know in the comments if it's pretty clear now.
And
All right.
like
Sorry,
Jordan
guys.
said, and like Jordan said, we both have been going to them ever since we were little and watching them with our parents and friends.
So has any one of you guys derbied before?
No.
I tried to win the raffle car at Cuba to drive it, but I didn't win.
We also,
because I heard it didn't even run.
It didn't.
we was also gonna try to help one of the Wisconsin teams that was going to the Salisbury team
Yeah,
show.
that
If we could find a couple cars,
and team up with him, but
because he lost both of his
yeah,
teammates.
he's coming as a one-man show.
Oh man. Yeah, my Wi-Fi is not working very good today. One man show, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, that's what he said.
All right. Well, let's talk about last year before we get into this. Last year, you guys started something new. Of course, it's not. You guys started your, what'd you call it? The Tour of Destruction.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's see if I can pull it up there. Yeah, so last year you had the Missouri Tour of Destruction, and basically this was on the back of your Derby of the Show Me State shirts, or where this was on a shirt, right?
Yeah. Yep. That's the ones we first got made from like 2022, I think.
Yes. Yeah, that sounds right.
The shows
2022.
we were at in 2022. We kind of got to get shirts made for the last 2 years of the list. We got a little behind on that.
We got busy and just never got around to it.
Yeah, so on this Missouri Tour of Destruction that you guys do you have a new shirt this year that you're going to be selling, or?
Yeah, we just got to go get them made. We got a couple made personally for ourselves, so we just got to get.
I kind of got like trying to get people to order them right now on the page.
So we kind of know a good amount of what to buy.
I understand that. I've been down the merchandise road, and it's I thought I was gonna do all right, but man, that shipping killed me on the. I'm actually wearing the free hat I got from the guy, the graphics hat. I know my green screen's messing up, but yeah, I found out that shipping's a killer, so you got to account for that too. But so let's talk about your demolition derbies, your tracking of it. So do you guys go to every promoter's page, or how do you guys learn about all these shows? Do you have promoters that are reaching out and helping you guys put these things together, or how do you?
Some of the promoters, they've been reaching out to us and telling us the shows. Like I know Michael Hupp, he reaches out to us a lot.
That's Showtime officials.
Yeah, gives us his shows. And some of them we go to their Facebook page, their website, and they have one, and just keep checking on it.
Wow, so you guys got a lot of hours into this, just keeping the page up for the people that are, that are referencing your page.
There's like several promotions that we got two of them like Eastern Missouri that they're both having an Illinois promoter put them on, and that's the only show for them in Missouri. We always gotta check them out, and
yeah, we're actually going to one of them shows.
We're actually going to both of theirs. One's in Run, Missouri. The other one's in St. Genevieve, Missouri.
Later on this year.
Yeah. All right. So last year, how many shows did you guys go to total? Off the top of your head, do you know?
I believe it was 17 or 18 we made it to. Between 7 or 8 different promoters.
Yeah. So do you guys keep track of the mileage that you guys are driving to all these shows?
No, we never really had thought about that.
We more or less don't really keep track of it, but we mostly just see how far they are, like time wise.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys got to keep track of your miles and stuff. So you told me a lot of people don't know I reached out to these guys and I asked them if they were making any money, like recording any of these shows. And right now they're just doing it as a courtesy.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, I see that your guys are donating extra money towards the drivers, just hoping for a better show.
We're actually donating $200 to the Gut and Go at Salisbury this Saturday.
Yeah, I think that is awesome. That speaks the epitome of the ambassadors of the sport right there. I mean, you guys are not only reaching out, looking up all these shows just for everybody in Missouri to have a quick reference guide to where derbies are. You guys are also, spending quality time, trying to track down how many cars came to each one of these shows. You guys are trying to figure out, how can you make it to a show anywhere in the state. You guys are going all over the state of Missouri. Anytime you go to 17 shows across 9 different promoters, that has got to be spread out. So on behalf of the Demolition Derby community itself and everything else, I want to say thank you guys for everything that you're doing, because that is crazy. It's crazy the amount of time you guys are spending. So let's talk about why you're at a derby. You said that you like seeing cars get tore up, and I think that's why every single person goes to a derby. They like seeing cars crash, and they like to see destruction. Is there a specific shot that happens on the track that gets you pumped up more than another? Like, is there what's your favorite shot to see out there?
Me personally, I like it when I see the cars go head to head, when they go nose to nose. Yeah, head on.
Especially if they're both like actually running and both go
on opposite sides of the tracks and they do it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's to end a show. I would say that's the best way to end a show. Like when you see 2 cars just back up to each wall and send it to the middle. That's one of my favorite shots as well. But man, for me personally, I just like seeing that guy go from one end of the track to the other, 45 and the guy, and just clear off the whole front end of a car. I mean, just take one rail and shove it straight to the sky. And for me, that's my favorite shot to watch, just because I know the force it takes to get through all that stuff. And when you see it happen live in person, the videos never do it justice. But seeing that happen live to me is just the craziest thing. Like, it have to be in either one of them cars, the jar that these guys are feeling. It can't be good. I mean, I love putting GoPros in cars, but when you see one of those shots and then you see what the driver's taking, like if the GoPro's behind them, you're like, holy cow, this guy ain't gonna be walking for a week, and he jumps out of the car like, yeah, baby. So you guys have been to a lot of tracks in Missouri. Do you have a personal favorite?
I've always liked Madison's track. It's not like too long, but it's also not like very narrow. It's like, just like, to me, it's a good size. Like, it's a perfect size for a derby track.
One of my personal favorites is the Eldon track. That's pretty good size track.
Oh
down
yeah,
there.
They've did a lot of work to that track, and they keep putting money into it. I'm hoping this year we finally have the show that everybody thought we were going to have 3 years ago. But Ray's Lawn and Landscaping, Henry Ray, he sent me a video of some stuff they're going to try this year, and hopefully it all works out, because them guys have been pouring more time and energy into the track than a lot of fair boards are willing to even think about. And We haven't got it right yet, but we're gonna. One of these days, it's gonna be there, and I think they're gonna fix it this year. So
That's good. Yeah, that's another one of the shows we're planning on coming down in September to that show
Turkey
down
Fest.
there. Yeah, Turkey Festival.
Yep. So, well, let's talk about your schedule since you guys are starting to talk about it. Where have you been this year?
So far, been to West Plains, Vienna. They had a team show going on back in.
Stop
April
right there for
26th.
just a second. How was the team show in Vienna? So I was in Lebanon that same night, but I heard it was pretty good. How was it?
Pretty good. They had 7 teams. I said
7 heats, 14
7
teams.
heats. Yeah, so 14 teams showed up. They had 7 heats.
So did they go
And-
head to head at the beginning? Is that why the track was cut down, or?
Yeah, they had the track smaller because they were doing 2 heats of one team of 2 against another team of 2, and then when the feature came, they opened it up and for them.
So as a
And then they had,
as a spectator of that show, so when you said they cut the track in half, did they run a heat on each side, like one heat? Did they use both sides of the track when they cut it in half, or did they just use one side of it?
they kind of cut it, just used the one side, didn't really use the other side.
Okay, so they only pulled, like they didn't pull 4 teams across the track at once and then said,
Yeah.
all right, you 2 are going to go head to head. When you 2 are done, we're going to jump to this side and go head to head, kind of like we've seen in the past.
That's how Salisbury did it last year.
Yeah. And I think they'll probably do it again this year too.
Yeah, I would say probably so.
It seemed to do pretty good last year.
It ran them through there a lot quicker.
Yeah. And we were at Mother's Day Madness back when Filthy Promotions was putting it on, and that's the way they did it. It was, if you're going to do heats and stuff,
That one.
as a spectator, that was awesome as a spectator. But they got through the heat so fast, is like when you're helping a team out or if you're running the show, you're crunching for every second you can get to get your car back to the track. And I mean, that's the only thing about that one day show, trying to get everything in. So Salisbury, Missouri, that's next on your list this Saturday night. And what do you expect to see at old Salisbury?
I expect there to be some big hits.
They're gonna have a lot of different driving styles because they're it's a team show. So each team has their own little driving style.
Have you guys been following the intro videos that some of the drivers have been posting up?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I just saw yesterday, I think it was, Tyler Pickens is going to be driving in all 3 classes.
Oh, all I seen on that video is freaking something I didn't want to see. Yeah, he's a character. But yeah, that's to drive 3. He's in every 3 different heats or whatever.
Yeah,
He's gonna be. Yeah,
he
he's
better
gonna
have
have a car
a team.
in every class.
He better have a pit crew of people down there helping him out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta go jump in my other car. You guys fix this one. It's gotta go here in a little bit.
He's gonna be sore out on Sunday morning.
Oh, he'll be sore for sure. Yeah, so they're doing 3-man compacts. You guys know what else they're doing? They're doing 2-man full size, right?
Yeah, 2-man full size stock,
and
then gut and go as a sport class.
All right. So I think this is going to be a pretty good show to watch. Hopefully, you guys are going to be going live. I'm actually going to have one of you guys going live on my page as well. So we'll have that going. And there's going to be, I've talked to a lot of people. It sounds like it's going to be a heck of a show. Sounds like there's going to be a heck of a car count. And the drivers that are going are quality drivers that are going to put on a show, that are known to put on a show. There's drivers that competed on all different stages. They've competed on the national stages. They've competed at the county fairs. They've competed at those, second tier national shows, I'd call them. So I think you're going to see some really good derby driving, and I think you're going to get to see some really hard hits. I will be at the Lucky 7 show doing the announcing and for the figure 8. So if you're a derby fan, Salisbury, Missouri sounds like the place to be. If you're a figure 8 fan,
down there too.
If you're a figure 8 fan, New Bloomfield, Missouri is the place to be, because Corey Burton is, he got on the Lions Club this year, and he's doing a lot of big things down there in New Bloomfield, and I think they're going to have that track looking perfect. He's really been working on it, so I can't wait. So what about the rest of the year? What do you guys got going on the rest of the year? You have a schedule that shows that that you plan on being at?
Yeah, right now our schedule is like we're going to be at 22 shows.
Possibly 23.
23. We may not make it to all of them, but tentatively that's what our schedule is.
Yeah. So for the people that are tuning in, where are you guys at tonight? What are you doing tonight?
We're down here at Double S Speedway in California watching the racing.
Yeah, so I get these guys on here and I go, we're going to start at 8:30, and I was like, what are you guys doing? Because before, there's a little daylight, I could see that they're in a vehicle, sitting in a vehicle. They're like, oh, we're at the Double X Speedway, just watching the races. They're at intermission right now. So
we're always going to derbies, races, charter pools.
Last night.
Something, some type of motorsports.
That's good. Just ambassadors. So do you guys ever plan to drive in one of these shows?
Actually, yeah. We got finished getting our derby card finished. We have a old Plymouth Breeze.
That's no good for nothing.
It was our daily driver, but started.
You said you have a Plymouth Breeze?
Yeah. It was our daily driver, but then we started having to fix thing after thing on it, so we decided we were going to turn it into a derby car. Yeah, and
that's how it all starts. When you just say, I'm just going to do it once, and then you guys are going to be, we're going to go run this show. Might as well, we're going to be there. Might as well bring a car with us.
We got it mainly most of the way stripped out. We just got to do all the wiring and stuff.
Smooth the battery.
So tell America where you plan on running this thing at.
We're trying to figure that out. We're thinking closer to home in like Callaway County, like probably like Fulton, McCain.
All right, put it on the calendar.
Area.
Or
just
maybe
one of the calendar. Say, I'm going to run this show and do it.
We were thinking about bringing it to one of your guys' shows. Running it there.
Just the rules are out there. Just get on there, build that freaking thing, and do it. Just bring it. Put derbies of the Show Me State all the way down the side. That way everybody knows who you are.
That was the plan.
That was the plan. There's gonna be the multicolored car with derbies of the Show Me State all over it.
There you go. Then just write it as a business expense. Advertising, baby. All right,
try to put ourselves out there.
What show are you most excited for this year? Do you have a few that you really looking down the schedule that you really are excited for, or are you just excited for all of them?
Well, the one that we're probably the most excited for is Fulton June 21st.
Yeah, we're pretty excited about having a derby back in our hometown again.
First
Yeah.
year of it starting back up was last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And that,
another one I always get excited for is Montgomery, since they city, Montgomery County Fair, since they started one back up.
I'd say kind of that whole little schedule of DLS, really, like
Yeah.
Warrenton, Troy, kind of those, because those are all shows that we kind of try to go to those 3 or 4 shows each and every year.
yeah.
I'm looking forward to the St. Genevieve show. We've never been down that area really, so
Yeah. I've
we don't
never
really
been
know
down
how.
there.
No,
I've never
never been
been
down to that area.
Farthest we've been
Yeah.
down towards that away would be Warrenton.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never been down that way, but there are some good drivers from that area. They had a 4-man compact team at Blizzard Bash last year, and they drew a tough heat, but they were some good drivers. They did pretty good in the B main, but BAS kind of handled them pretty good in the head to head. But in the B main, they did pretty good. So that'll be they have some good drivers down there as well. So and that so for you guys as spectators of the sport, you've been to a lot of facilities. What kind of sets the facilities apart? Like, what in your eyes, what's the best, like, how would you build a derby facility basically? Like, if you could start from scratch, build one up, how would you do it?
Definitely, I would get a better grandstand seats for the most of them, because a lot of them have real little ones and they get filled in real quickly.
Something kind of like what California has is pretty good for a grandstand.
Or even like
seating.
Madison, or there was another one, Vandalia. They got a pretty decent one.
Yeah.
Yep. I've always said there's 4 things that make a derby great. The first thing is you got to have the facility for it. You got to have a really good track, a track that's going to take on water if it's outdoors. You got to have good seating and good lighting, good sound system. Because it's really hard to make a show better if no one can hear the announcer, no one can hear the music that's playing throughout the night, if they can't see the action on the track, and they don't have good seats. So
definitely lighting the speakers is something like we're always talking about when we go to them. We're like, this track ain't got really good hearing system. We can't hear the announcer. We don't know who that driver is.
Yeah, Cuba could have been a little better on lighting. I know that.
Yep.
Lighting and everything. We're always like, that. We can't, like, that's a black car. We can't see that car.
Yeah. So lighting for me is huge because I'm a video guy. So like whenever I'm making videos, the better the lighting, the better, the more professional the video is going to look. So lighting's huge, but like on the promotion side, lighting is huge for safety. So like the officials that are standing on the berm, it's hard for them to see into the cars and see the drivers when the lighting's poor. And the very next thing that makes a good show is the drivers. You can't have a good show without the drivers showing up. And that's why we've always said, it's a drivers first organization. You gotta put your drivers first because they're the ones that's going to put on the show. And so you got your drivers. That's my second thing that I've always said. The third thing is you got to have a good promoter. You got to have a promoter. You have to have a promoter that's going to be fair to drivers, that knows what they're doing with the track, and that that's been in it, that's experienced enough to know what's going on the track, because there's a lot of these people, they're bringing their buddies and stuff, and you can't drive the cars for them. You didn't build them.
Right.
That's my biggest complaint I see is when the promoters are jumping on the track mid derby, trying to control, the outcome. As long as they're following, the rules that were set in the drivers meeting, let what's going to happen play out.
Yep.
But,
I know we've been to like
Yeah,
several shows like as promoters, and we try our best to keep it off the page because everybody's got their personal opinion, and we have our own personal opinion about different promoters.
Yeah.
But there are certain promoters that we're like they could do this or that better, but we never try to put that on the page because the page is there just to support them and keep derbies going.
And
Yep.
another thing we'd also notice, like fan wise, is for like people that are watching and fans, don't try to tell the officials how to run the show and promote the show because they're the ones promoting it and running it, and they know what they're doing.
Yep.
Honestly, like if you think you can do a better job, then go start up a derby company and see if you can do a better job than they are doing.
For sure.
Yeah. Good luck. But
Or when there'll be like get down to like 2 or 3 cars and all of them cars are together and then you got all the fans yelling out like hit. They're gonna hit, but they're not gonna hit super hard because they're all together.
Yeah, they're not gonna want to tear their cars up.
nope, they're all building them out of the same shops, and they're just gonna go to the next one.
They're all gonna just kind of tap around for a little bit, and then they'll finally just kind of break off slowly.
Yeah, you get that, and then you get the ending that we had down there, and I can't remember. We had it down last year. We had it. What's that? Like Mocane? Yeah, a Mocane where you had Brady Smith and
Brady and Logan
Adams. They basically, they build out of the same shop. Basically, they build together, and
Brady
they backed it up and sent it, and Logan cleared Brady's bumper and broke his cradle in half, and that's that happens too at the end of the shows.
Yeah,
those are the shows that are. Those are the shows that I love going to.
Brady's our cousin. Logan's a good friend of ours, so.
I always tell them guys, anyone that comes to a Lucky 7 show or any show that I'm at, if you send it, the chances are that you're going to be on a reel somewhere someday. And I love it. I love walking through the pits, and that's what they tell me. They say, hey, keep that camera on me because it's coming tonight. And that's why I got excited at Lebanon, because everyone I went and talked to pretty much said, got to get my stuff out of this car. Keep camera on me. So I knew it was going to be pretty wild. Got a few more questions for you guys. I know you guys are at the races. I don't want to take too much of your time up.
We'll be glad to take as much time as we need.
Yeah. I don't mind. We'll be back down here later. Yeah.
Then so what's your guys' favorite class?
I like the big full-size cars. Stock ones usually, or bone stock. I think they are on for Lucky 7s, but stock, bone stock, full-size cars.
Lighter build full-size cars. What about you?
I like to go into mod compacts because usually they're a lot more hard hitting, and they're just once the green flag drops, they're usually just all over the place.
Yeah, they are. And I've seen most of the time the mod compacts are the harder hitting class. The compact guys are going to be sending it because these big car guys, they got a lot of money in their stuff. But then I say that, then I've been to shows where the big car guys have sent it, and the compact guys, the show is kind of blah, And then I've been to shows where the whole show has just been absolutely wild, and I love every second of it. So, but
yeah,
we've been to all different kinds of shows where they're hard hitting right from the green flag on all of them, or we've also been to shows where they're kind of more light taps, or we've also been to shows where it's closer to 200 cars, or we've been a couple shows where they got under 20, and
there's all kinds of different shows
and everything in between.
Yeah.
Yep. So what happened? So what would you, if you had your pick? Let's just say this. I love that you mentioned that. So we're just gonna. Would you rather have 100 cars show up to Derby, or 40 drivers that you've known and you know that are going to go out there and just tear everything up? Which show would you rather go to? The 100 car show or the 40 that are just going to send it?
Me personally, I think I'd rather go to a show that's going to have 40, 50 cars of drivers that are just going to go out there and send it and put on a show for the fans. And whoever's watching, whether that be on our live video or their pit crew, and just put on a show for everybody.
Yep.
Oh yeah, most definitely. The 40 cars where you basically know everybody knows everybody, where because they're gonna go out there and they know them, but they're still gonna lay the hits on them.
Oh yeah. And that's what I've said about these bigger shows. I mean, we've seen it time and time again at Blizzard Bash or any other big team show. A lot of times these drivers are from the same state. They live an hour and a half away from each other, and they've derbied each other a lot. And you talk to a lot of them and they say, well, hell, I could have went to a county fair and did that. They say we do it all the time at the county fairs. So, yeah, I mean, it's happening at all different levels. So let's talk about, do you guys have any sponsors or anyone that helps you guys out? Like, how you getting all these shows?
Our own money that we pretty much go and make at our 9-to-5 jobs, which it doesn't pay much.
I mean, we tried it last year to get a couple sponsors, and nothing really come of it. And this year, we didn't really even worry about it.
Yeah, sponsors are for the the social media side. It's pretty hard getting sponsors. People that help you out along the way.
We kind of had a couple people interested and
but
said they was going to, and we kind of texted them back a couple times, like, "Hey, checking in," and
yeah, they kind of just never quit testing us back.
All right, well, let's see here.
we have do it out of our own pocket.
We have a segment on this show, a new segment, and it's for drivers, fans, promoters, anyone that's ever been in an automobile, basically. What's your craziest moment on four wheels? We'll start with Josh on this.
Well, probably about, a year ago? About a year ago.
Yeah.
I ran off. I was trying to avoid a deer in my truck, and I ran off the side of the road, wrecked it, almost took out a culvert pipe in a fence. Yeah. Didn't end up not getting a ticket out of it or nothing, so that was good. Because I was on the wrong side of the road.
You ran off the road?
Yeah.
How'd that happen?
I was trying to avoid a damn deer.
Oh, okay. So if you see a deer from now on, think Derby car and just drive through that.
That's what I've done to about 2 or 3 of them.
Truck.
Hey, now that you said that, I just want you guys to know he's not on here tonight. But when I know that when Jacob Wood, when he's going to Derby, he said, "Boy, I had a dream last night. I was driving a Chevy Lumina and I took out 8 deer and junked every single one of them." Or he'll say he junked a full-size car or something. And I know that he'll be showing up at a show sometime. That's when you know he's got the itch again. He just starts dreaming about it. What about you?
I'd have to say mine was like right after I got my license. I was trying to look a little cool and be a little show off, I guess you could say, and trying to drift my truck on gravel, and I kind of overcorrected and rolled it into the ditch.
Holy smokes, what kind of truck was it?
A Ford F-150.
What year?
04.
Drifting an 04 F-150 on gravel. I love it. Nothing like the back roads delight there. Well, did you get hurt or was it good?
The truck wasn't so good, but I walked away nothing except for like 2 scratches on my back.
Well, heck yeah, that's what matters. You can replace vehicles, not really body parts. So
That's the truth.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. Yeah, I said, man, I want to start asking people what their craziest moment is, and it hasn't failed to deliver yet. Last week, Ricky Bobby's craziest moment was out there. I've never heard such a thing.
Yeah,
And we got you guys this week.
I'm like, damn. Mine's gonna beat that.
So,
I
have
could
you
beat
guys
that.
hit any? Have you guys hit any problems along the way with your build that you're putting together yet, or has it been pretty smooth? It's just kind of hard finding time to work on it, or
Right?
Yeah, finding
now
time.
it's finding hard time to work
Because we're
on it.
trying to do it together.
yeah. And you guys probably live in different. Do you guys live together, like in a same house, or do you have to?
At the current
Travel.
moment, we
Yeah,
live in the same house, but
I'm probably gonna be moving in with my girlfriend pretty soon.
same here.
Him too, was about 2 hours away.
I'll
Well, you
be
better-
like almost Warrensburg.
Yeah, he'll be like
Hey,
number Orangeburg.
You bet. So, what are you building the car in? Do you have a shop, or are you building it in the driveway? How are you getting this done?
Out in the pasture.
Out in the pasture.
Pasture of our grandpa's property.
Hey, we had James Fisher on here last week or a couple weeks ago, and he's building them out in the driveway. So, no excuses there. Just get it done. You guys just need to pick a show and say, hey, this is the show we're running at, and just do it.
So we're thinking
Show
about
up
building
with
it to the MWFA class.
Just because
You
they
can
got the easiest rules.
Yeah, just
We're
You
too
get that done easy.
we're too
Easy.
lazy to do any of the others.
yeah, we're too lazy to do any of the other stuff. So classes.
Hearing that, now you guys can have a real good appreciation for all the workmanship that you see on all these cars that you're walking past.
Yeah, we do because we're just too lazy to do all that work.
We're always
Well,
talking about like, hey, we should build that class. Never look.
Then we
never look.
get in reading the rules. We're like, we don't know any of this stuff. No.
Can you guys hear me still?
Yep.
All right. So now that we've got that out of the way, who's your favorite driver? Jordan, we'll start with you. You got a favorite Derby driver? Because you guys are like the ultimate fans.
I don't know if I could pick just one. I mean, I like Brady Smith a lot because he's my cousin, but also he lays hard hits like all the time.
All right. Josh, who you got? Who's your
I got my big car, kind of big car favorite driver. That's Bubby Johns, because he's always out there. And he doesn't care who he's hitting.
Oh yeah, old Bubby, he's the legend. Well, we've heard about your favorite driver, favorite track, favorite Derby shot. What's your the best Derby you've ever been to?
One of the best derbies I've ever been to was actually last year. It was out there in Madison in October at like their little cleanup show.
Yeah.
Everybody was just hard hitting out there. Didn't matter what class it was, whether it was the youth classes or the adults, they were all hard hitting.
For me, I don't know if much could top the one. I think it was in 2022. It was like piling up in Paris with Filthy Promotions. There, I remember in the Gut and Go class, there was a van and a car that went back to back, and we had fire across the track. There was
you guys see, there's a fire across the track?
Yeah,
he was at that one.
I think
So
it was
your
piling
guys'
up in Paris.
What's your guys' thoughts on the in motorsports in general, across the United States, pretty much every other motorsport other than demolition derby and all that, you have to wear a fire jacket. And I don't know if you guys seen it this week or not. Did you guys see the video of the fire that happened last night?
Yeah, we just watched it actually before we got on here.
Yeah, we're seeing, I've been to a lot of derbies. I've been to a heck of a lot of figure 8 races. I've been to a lot of dirt track races. And I'll tell you what, I've seen more fires and dangerous fires in demolition derby than any of those other sports. And, I feel like eventually, as a community of promoters and drivers, everybody's going to have to get on the same page and do at least fire jackets. Because, man, all these drivers, that you see, they're not making $1 million off of demolition derby. They're out here, they got day jobs and stuff like that. They got to go to work on Monday. And there's other dangers that happen on that track. But, man, I'd hate to see someone burn up in a car.
I know Southern Crunch Promotions, after that one there in Kennett, he's making all his drivers wear fire suits now.
At least have a fire jacket on and long pants for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe not like fireproof pants, but have long pants on.
Yeah. I mean, and a lot of times, these guys or these promoters, they're doing everything they can to, prevent with their rule set to prevent fires from happening. But when you got engines moving back and stuff, hoses break, fuel lines come off, and dangerous stuff happens. We've had some scary moments at Lucky Sevens. We've had some pretty crazy fires throughout the years, and we've been lucky that no one's really got too badly hurt, because it's never good. We had Brad Sanford a couple of years ago. That was probably the worst one that we've had. But thankfully he recovered fully from that. So, well, what's your, do you have any predictions on who's going to win this team show?
I'm thinking on the stock cars, my prediction is going to be, I'm thinking Jeremy Baker and his teammate are going to win the stock cars.
That's a solid pick right there.
The Compass, I have no idea, really. There's too many good teams.
Do you have the team list somewhere? Do you know who's running this week?
I can pull it up real quickly, I think, here.
I know Bedgeworth got a team. I know Kyle Wardenhauser's on a team. I don't remember who he's on a team with, but I know
I think I can.
Out there on a team.
Maybe.
Stola Boys, I know they got a couple of teams out there.
Here's the list. I mean, you got Eddie Chick, Zane Chick up there.
Yeah,
they're a solid one for the stock class to win.
Oh, I thought you were naming off team compact teams.
Oh, yeah, very much compact teams. Those were compact teams that I was naming. Compact teams that I could think of, I knew were out there. I know Brady and Logan.
Yeah, they got
ZFG. Somebody else.
Cody Ryder, I think.
Cody
Ryder with the Bedsworth. Team HTFO.
I knew Kyle Wardenhauser was what a team.
That'd be a tough team to beat there.
You got Team Sandbaggers with Landon Nichols, Doug Nichols, and
yeah, I seen their post.
Team Solo Boys with Will Lawrence, Stephen Lawrence, and Jesse Overfelt.
Stock teams, there's Dustin Kelsey's up there with some Trent Horn. Corey Leviton, he's out there on a stock team.
Yeah.
You got a lot of good teams. They're going to be hard to.
Yeah, it'll be a good show. Well, you guys, thanks for coming on. Do you guys want to say thank you to anyone that helps you get out? I know you say you didn't have any sponsors, but you have anyone that help you make sure you get to the shows?
My mom and dad, they help us out.
Just family, friends,
Friends,
derby drivers.
Derby drivers that appreciate everything we do and let us go out and walk around our cars when we're out there in the pits.
Yep.
Yeah, because I know when we first kind of started the page, I was
Let
kind
us
of going out.
pictures of their cars and stuff.
Yeah.
When we first kind of started the page, I was kind of going around in the pits. Some of the derby drivers wasn't sure like who we was or what we was doing.
Yep. I've always asked for permission whenever I record people's cars. Even when I'm at Blizzard Bash recording for Smash It, I always ask just to make sure. I don't want them, I don't want a lot of them guys getting upset. I mean, it's a given that most of them cars are going to get recorded for just for the reels and all that goes on at them national shows. But all right, thanks guys. I'll be in touch with you guys this week. I hope you guys have a great derby down there in Salisbury to watch, and I hope you guys get lots of people following your page. If you guys are interested in derbies of the Show Me State, go check them out on Facebook.
You're welcome. Thanks for having us.
Yep, thank you. You guys enjoy the rest of the races.
We will.
All right, I'll see you later. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
All right, that was Josh and Jordan Atterbury from Derbies of the Show Me State. They put in a lot of time, a lot of effort keeping in the schedules, keeping them all up to date for Derby fans, promoters, anyone that just wants to know where a demolition derby is that week. That's where you go look. If you're in Missouri, that's the best place to go is Derbies of the Show Me State page, and you can find pretty much any event, motorsport event that involves crashing cars on their page. And we want to thank them again for everything they do because, it takes a lot of time, a lot of effort for everything they do. This week, guys, we're going to New Bloomfield. It's going to be an amazing show. Can't wait to see everybody there. Going to be a good facility. Hoping for some really good weather. I haven't checked to see how the weather's going to be this week. Happy Mother's Day to all you mothers out there that are watching or going to watch this later on. We appreciate each and every one of your guys' support. And, the Powder Puff class, this year we got Powder Puffs at New Bloomfield. So guys, if you got a lady there that, takes care of your kids and does a really good job for your family, put them in your car this weekend for Mother's Day. Tell them, hey, New Bloomfield, Missouri, you guys are going to go run the Powder Puff and don't destroy my car. But if you guys, I'm going to try to be there early. Try to get lots of reels of your guys' cars, lots of videos. Probably going to try to do a pit walkthrough. My daughter does play softball on Saturday, so we're going to see how the schedule's looking. I about got her car all done. So Saturday with Lucky Sevens Promotions, New Bloomfield, Missouri, we're going to have the youth bump and run. We're going to have our power wheels. We're going to have the Powder Puff and then the Worthy Bell Bonds Figure 8 Championship Series. It's going to be a great show. I believe it starts at 7. I better check. I'm so bad at this. I'm going to check real quick. I've always given people the wrong information, so gotta check. I don't have my ambassadors on here, the promoters themselves, so yep, May 17th, 7 p.m. That's where it's going to be at New Bloomfield, Missouri. We can't wait to see everybody out there. I expect to see some really good cars, and got us some new cars coming. We have old cars that are going to be there as well. Who's going to win? Who will be your next champion at New Bloomfield? There's a lot of storylines going into this. Will Wildcard Racing be able to keep its streak alive They've got 2 wins in the last 2 events, and they are going for this. Basically Dylan Cardwell's trying to three-peat this. Last year he won championship night, won the first night of the year, and will he put another win in the column on night number 2, or will someone else emerge the victory? I've got Snapchats from you guys saying, this is the Cardwell killer. Will this new car, or the cars that you guys have been working on, will they finally be able to take down Dylan Cardwell? We've had people reach out and ask for different events that happen during the figure 8. And one of them that was brought to my attention that, I'm going to run by the boys. We've had several people ask if they could have like a call out race or a couple call out races per event where, they will run heads up against someone of their choice, for cash. They both have to pay cash, like bet money, and run for whatever that is, kind of like you see on like Street Outlaws or something like that. And that's been a request I've had. I think it'd be kind of cool, let a couple of them go out there at a time and run head to head if they want, and try to win like a grudge race. So that's what we've had. We've had several people reach out to ask us that, and I'm going to run it by the boys and see what they think. But you've heard it here on the Crashed It podcast. Your request has been heard on the grudge match races to happen at the track. But that'll be a call between Jacob and Joshua. They make all the decisions for Lucky Sevens, and we'll see. It sounds like they've been real busy trying to get all the shows lined up, and summer's coming. The weather's getting nicer, and I can't wait for all the Demolition Derby and figure 8 action that's to come. Next week, tune into the podcast. We have none other than John Waller coming on the podcast next week. So he most likely will be running the figure 8 on Saturday, and we'll get to hear about his experience on the track on Sunday, and hopefully talk about all the other stuff that happens. So thank you all for tuning in for another episode of the Crashed It podcast. Again, happy Mother's Day. Thank you all for listening to another episode of the Crashed It podcast. Go out there and send it.